Rob and I'm back with another Pokemon Duel video, and today we're going back into Duel DB where we can have a look at some of the great figures you guys have been coming up with lately. As you know, Pokemon Duel is heating up at the moment. There's been fixes and all sorts of things that are happening, tournaments going on, there's some amazing things happening, and we're about to get a big announcement in the next week or so from kaeru, which I'm very much looking forward to. But also, on top of that, there's a big competition that Divani is running right now, who is the creator of Duel DB, where you can win 2 months of free Pokemon Duel access just by creating a figure based on or featuring a Generation 8 Pokemon. And if your figure is the best, then you can win 2 months of free Pokemon Duel access, which is pretty cool. We're going to go and have a look now and see what people have been coming up with and maybe just add my thoughts to the mix. So let's get into it. So the first figure we're going to have a look at is Galarian Darmanitan. This one's made by Ron, so thank you Ronald for submitting this one. It looks pretty cool, actually. We're going to go have a quick look at it now. It's 2 MP, an EX. This Pokemon's attacks deal 20 more damage for each frozen figure on the field, so you'd want to run this in a full ice deck if you can. He's got a purple attack here, Freezing Headbutt, which is 17 segments on the wheel. And this one allows you to spin any of your opponent's Pokemon on the field. If they spin a blue or a mist, they get frozen. So yeah, that could be quite good for, especially like if you're going up against an Ultra Beast deck or something like that. Ice Beam here as well. So if it gets knocked out, your opponent becomes frozen. And yeah, it only hits for 70. It's not too OP. I don't know if this is worth an EX or not. I guess it potentially is going to do, you know, maybe 100 to 110. Sorry, 90 or 110 if you get a couple of opponents' frozen figures on the field. But I don't think it's quite strong enough. Like, I think this is more... I think it needs a buff, to be honest. I think this figure is kind of cool. I like Freezing Headbutt. I do like that attack. But I think that maybe the Ice Beam should be 110 at least. I think. That way, you know, you've got 2 frozen figures on the field, it can deal 150. With the meta the way it is at the moment, if all the figures are back in it, you know, like 70, even if you get that to 110, it's not enough. And you're not really going to be getting more than 2 frozen figures on the field at any one time anyway. So, yeah, I think give this figure a buff. Maybe get 30 more damage for each frozen Pokemon on the field and also make it like 100. Because then it can do some pretty decent damage. Anyway, that's my thoughts on that one. Let's move to the next figure. Okay, our next figure is Corviknight, made by D. Lovrat, and this figure is another EX. It's a Flying Steel, and it's got an ability Flying Taxi. Instead of an MP move, from any position on the field, this Pokemon can transport an adjacent figure to either side of your entry points or your goal point. This Pokemon returns to its original position directly afterwards. This Pokemon can MP move through other figures. Okay, so it can MP move through other figures. That's already pretty OP. Instead of an MP move, this figure can transport an adjacent... This Pokemon returns to its original position directly afterwards. When does directly afterwards mean? Does that mean after the turn finishes? Or... yeah, that needs a bit of clarification there, I think. But it's an interesting thought. I think it might be a little OP if it stays there permanently, but maybe if it just stays there for a couple of turns, yeah, I don't know. Taunt, so it has Taunt, which, you know, basically means until the end of your next turn, if this Pokemon hit by the attack spins a blue, until the end of your next turn, if the Pokemon hit by this attack spins a purple attack, all blue attacks shift the result clockwise until a non-blue attack comes up. Man, that's complicated, that Taunt attack. I've never actually had that mean much, to be honest, but that's a pretty big wheel slice. Brave Bird for 150. Wow, that is interesting. This Pokemon is knocked out if the opponent's attack deals more than half the damage that this Pokemon's attack deals. So that's not bad that it hits for 150. I think maybe 160, maybe buff that a little bit, considering it's going to get itself knocked out most of the time. And then it's got Mirror Armor. While this Pokemon remains on the field, the effects of the battle opponent that increase or decrease damage are reversed when fighting this Pokemon. Oh, that's kind of cool. Mirror Armor. I don't have... Does any other figure have that in the game currently? I'm not sure. I do like this figure, though. I think it's well balanced. but I'm just confused about that ability. So if we can get that clarified, that would be very helpful. Maybe I'm looking at this wrong, maybe someone can explain it to me, but I don't think that quite makes sense. This Pokemon returns to original position directly afterwards. Like, when is directly afterwards? Like, do you move it and then move it away instantly? Because what would be the point? Yeah, okay, that's where I'm confused on this one anyway. So thank you very much for submitting this figure though, and we'll do one more. Let's go find another figure to have a look at. Alright, our final figure today is Grimmsnarl, and this one is by Nightknock. So Grimmsnarl is another Gen 8 figure. This is another EX. We've just been looking at EXs today. It's a dark fairy type, and its ability is Prankster. Your dark Pokemon within 2 spaces get an additional star on their purple moves. Your fairy type Pokemon within 2 spaces can't have their blue segments become miss. Oh, that is cool. That is actually really cool, especially with the Z moves that are going on at the moment. That means that you can't Z move this figure, the Grimmsnarl, and get rid of its trickery. Oh, that's cool. And then anything that's within 2 spaces as well. I really like that. Okay, so let's have a look at its attacks. Bad Joke, which hits for 130. If this Pokemon is knocked out, the battle opponent becomes asleep. Okay. That's kind of cool. Hits for 130. It's not a huge attack. Trickster. We know, Trickery. We know what that does. It lets you move your wheel 2 segments. It's very similar to that other fairy type figure that's name's escaping at the moment, but you can roll that into that Sucker Punch for 90 damage. The one thing that I've noticed on this wheel though is that it is a base figure with no miss, so it should have that 4 miss slice segment in there so that when you level it up to level 5 you get rid of that. It's got Parting Shot for 150 with 24 size on the wheel. This Pokemon, if this Pokemon is still on the field after battle, you may switch it with another Pokemon that's not in the PC. Okay, that could be useful. Alright, so it's got some pretty decent attacks. It's got that Trickery that can go into a gold. It can't have its Z move, like it can't have its blue attack. So it's resilient to Z moves, which Maywile is the other one that I was thinking of. Maywile is really weak to Z moves because of that, because of the fact that the blue goes amiss, and basically that blue is huge, right? So this is like Maywile, but with all of its weaknesses fixed. It's a pretty powerful figure. I think that would be great in the game. I like it. Excluding burn. Okay, yeah, no, I think this would be great. I really want to see this figure in the game. But yeah, that's going to do it for me for today. Let me know what you think was the best figure out of the mix and which one you would like to see in the game. And don't forget, if you haven't entered Divani's competition, you don't have long. I haven't entered myself. I'm going to do it before the entry closes. I think it's on the 20th of December or something like that. It's, yeah, going to be, or just after that, sometime in the 23rd maybe of December. So you don't have much time. It's towards the end of the month. I can't remember the exact date, so don't miss out on that. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I'll catch you in the next video. This is Rock, blessing of the game.